Hi, my name is Paul Brady, and I'm the Director of Inbound Marketing with the Center for National Investing. Today we're going to talk to you about vested economics. What is vested economics? So to answer that question, I hate to do this to you, but first we're going to look at two other questions that are important to this concept. The first question states that how is the money issued in exchange for market surplus fairly and equitably distributed? The answer is national vesting. The second question is, how do you manage an economy in which the supply of goods and services overwhelms demand to such an extent most jobs do not provide a livable wage? And the answer to that is vested economics. So let's talk a little bit about what Dr. Whitehair said in his book, American Buyout. In that book, he stated, vested economics is not capitalism versus socialism debate. While it's reasonable to view national vesting as an evolutionary form of free market capitalism, this does not mean that current forms of capitalism are viable. Neither conventional capitalism nor socialism are effective in managing a modern economy. Vested economics repudiates both of these frameworks and their various alternatives. In fact, without distribution of market surplus, conventional capitalism in many ways equals socialism. And Dr. Whitehair went on to say, national vesting is a no-lose proposition. In a vested economy, every individual's economic situation is improved. While families living in poverty might appear to be the biggest winners, it's absolutely crucial to recognize that this does not occur at the expense of any other party. Specifically, high wage earners will see their salaries increase and their tax burden decrease as a result of an uptick in general economic activity. Businesses will be better off because they'll be able to employ more skilled employees and make larger profits while simultaneously reducing payroll costs and tax liabilities. So, in a system of vested economics, it's a cliche, but everyone's a winner. People who are on the bottom end of our economic scale, the poor, they benefit. People who are in the middle class, who often get squeezed, they benefit. Even people who are high wage earners, in some respects, benefit as well. So vested economics is a way that, and I mentioned vested economics along with national vesting earlier because they're integral to each other. In a vested economy, national vesting is the system of taking that market surplus we talked about earlier, that excess production, and redistributing it to workers as a second paycheck, if you will. So national vesting and vested economics represent a way to help balance our economy in a way that conventional economic science cannot today. So since we've mentioned national vesting earlier, let's dig in a little deeper on that. National vesting, as you may or may not know from our prior content and video, is based on a well-known economic theory called quantitative easing. But what we've also mentioned is that there is a distinct difference between national vesting and quantitative easing. Now, national vesting is based on quantitative easing, but there is an important distinction. And let's walk through that. So in the diagram you see, it basically shows how national vesting and quantitative easing impact price inflation. So national vesting actually decreases price inflation by increasing production and reducing costs for businesses. It makes distribution from the market surplus directly to individuals who then exercise their discretion in using the funds. No one is compelled to spend their distribution unwisely. If individuals determine that certain purchases are unwise or prices have increased unreasonably, there's nothing forcing them to make the purchases. Now, in contrast, funds from quantitative easing are used for the sole purpose of implementing government-managed spending programs. Unlike national vesting, these programs do these programs do nothing to boost production of additional goods and services to satisfy the increase in demand. And additionally, quantitative easing does nothing to reduce costs for businesses. But the worst aspect of quantitative easing is that there's no reasonable management process for efficiently spending the funds. Spending decisions are made through highly politicized processes that inevitably favor a small group of individuals at the expense of the general population. Though national vesting can be considered a form of quantitative easing, it's distinguished by principled management processes that distribute proceeds to individual citizens instead of the government. And that's an important distinction when you look at that. In an invested economy, there's there's a single and important thread, and that is that we want to balance an economy for everyone. Much like what we just discussed with national vesting and quantitative easing and the differences between the two, one is clearly benefits government-managed programs and a small percentage of individuals, while the other, national vesting, benefits everyone and provides for a more balanced economy. So we invite you to look at our other printed material and content that deal in more explicit detail on the vested economy and vested economics, including our theories on national vesting, our discussions of quantitative easing, and everything else that we discuss in creating a balanced economy. Also, be sure to check out Dr. Whitehair's book, American Buyout, which discusses all of this as well in much more detail than we do here today. Thank you for your time, and please feel free to reach out to us on our website and join us in our grassroots initiative, the American Buyout Consortium, so that we can help make a difference and see if we can together change the perception of how an economy should be balanced. My name is Paul Brady. I'm the Director of Inbound Marketing with the Center for National Vesting. Thank you.